Hello, my name is Hasha Pantoja Rodriguez. I'm from Group 90, and this is my video talking about the topic punishing children. So let's begin. First question. Were you naughty as a child? How did your parents punish you? Well, in my childhood, I will admit I was a bit naughty. An example of that is that I was too hyperactive and I walk around here in other places without warning where I was going. I also didn't obey some rules that my parents told me. I even lied to my parents about the mischief and bad actions I did. They punished me by locking me in my room to think about the consequences of my actions, even hit me with a bell, a shoe, or a sandal. It sounds funny to remember, but the pain was horrible. Second question. Should parents use corporal punishment, slapping, smacking, belting, or caning? Well, I sincerely think yes, and at the same time, not. For my part, I was educated in this way. If you misbehave it or disobey, your parents had to punish you by beating you to learn not to make the same mistake or the same act again or disobey them. That is my opinion. If the child doesn't learn the lesson as he will learn, he mustn't commit that evil act again or bad action. I'm not saying it's good to hit the kids. No, I mean, if the kid keeps committing the same lesson again and again and again, then that's where the parents will apply for some force. Of course, there are less violent methods, such as dialogue between parents and children, create some atmosphere of reflection, and they are valid. I think that dialogue is the best solution to make children reflect on their action they commit. But if they no longer listen by that method, then they must be taught not to commit it again with some force. Third question. Should anyone else other than the parents be allowed to smack a child? Um, at that point, I no longer agree. Only parents can beat their children. I say this also because I observed a similar experience in my family. Once my aunt hit one of the children of another family for lying, right, that the children hadn't taken a tool from her. Parents are the only ones authorized to beat or punish only their children. However, parents can't beat other children of their families. That is an example like nephews or any other member of the family. That is no longer valid for me because every parent, I mean, it's responsible for their education, care, health, and feeling of their children. Fourth question. Imagine that punishments did have to fit the crime. Think of some typical childish misdemeanors and how you will punish them. Mm, well, I think when we are children, we usually like acts such as disobeying our parents, lying, stealing, or hitting our siblings if we have one. In other cases, are the classmates or friends. In these four actions, I will focus. The first one, disobeying our parents, will have to do a dialogue with the child and lock him in his room. I mean, as he must learn to respect and obey his elders. In the second and third, that is lie and steal, yes, it will be a plea to hit the child in the hand. One, for taking something that is not of, of them, and in the mouth for lying to their parents or someone else. If one doesn't learn in this way, I mean the child, there will not be a reminder in the child that he must stop doing such actions. Of course, it will also take a while to say that we should not do that again. And finally, hit your siblings if they have, and if you don't hit if you don't hit another partner or friend that I say before. In this, it will be more a punishment to hit the child and tell him that it's not correct to hit others just for violence or negative emotions or feelings like anger. Those will be like punishment or for typical childish misdemeanors. 5 questions. How will you punish parents who abuse their children? Should their children be taken away from them? As I said before, parents are the only ones who can hit their children. Second, parents can also beat their children when it's necessary. That is when the children no longer want to obey in the good way. That's as they say colloquially in my country, in Mexico. But when the father abused that authority and already hurts the child emotionally, physically, and psychologically, it is no longer allowed as an excuse to beat or hit the child to be better educated. Children must be disciplined and educated, but when their health and person are abused, there must be an outside force or aid for the protection of the child. And that point, I agree that the law separates the child from its parents, taken away. Parents should be sentenced to a few years in prison for abuse, mistreatment of their children. It's okay for parents to educate and discipline their children, but if they overstep that limit, the mark by abusing their fatherhood, by hurting or abusing their child, that's not right. That will be my opinion on this topic, punishing children. Thank you for watching.